welcome to a new edition of After the Whistl. Sorry, we ain't got no costumes for y'all this year, so we ain't do no Halloween costumes.
I thought about wearing the same thing I wore last year, my little Darth Vader hoodie, but it's too cold outside for that.
Yeah, too cold. Hope y'all safe out there from that wind. Felt like the last scene in Avengers or some scary movie where it's like the bad guys and the protagonists meet. that climatic wind. That's what it sounded like last night.
You can't even sleep with your windows open, like not even cracked. Like, you get smacked by the wind. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I had to close mine, and mine stayed open all summer. But yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Before we get started, it's also kind of ridiculous and bad. The NFL, Roger Goodell, they're not releasing anything from the investigation from the Washington football team. And all of this is just like, so y'all just made John Gruden be the fall guy. This is pretty much what this sounds like. Made John Gruden be the fall guy because he said some words about the commissioner. And,
I've said in the past that, the NFL doesn't really have, any loyalty to their employees, and it just shows, because they put Gruden on the pedestal for years, had him announcing, brought him back with a Herald franchise. The Raiders had him doing well, and then, mistakes happen. It shouldn't have happened, but they happen.
Yeah.
And they just throw him out there, and then all of a sudden you're not willing to uncover everything else that's been going on and what you and other people might have been saying because your job might be at risk. Is kind of like, yeah.
The craziest thing is this had nothing to do with Gruden.
Yeah.
It legit had nothing. Granted, we're not, he shouldn't have been doing what he was doing, but this whole investigation had nothing to do with him. Yeah. It had to do with the Washington football team, and it seems like they're hiding stuff now they don't want the public to reveal, which is more of a case why they blackballed Colin Kaepernick, because imagine the stuff we'd find out about what those folks were saying about him or what they was doing to him.
Once again, if you can't figure out a name for your team after a couple years and you were so bent out of shape about letting go of the term Redskins, you just showed me what type of people you are.
Yeah.
And this just continues to prove what type of people you are.
Yeah. And it's also the craziest thing. They did all that investigation in that Deflategate nonsense when science could tell you leave footballs out there in the cold, that it's not going to be the same. But they did all those investigations, getting all these witnesses, bringing in big time lawyers, and it went on for like 3 or 4 years, and their conclusion was Brady more likely than not. They didn't even have a conclusive conclusion about that. You could do that with that, but with this, it's like, oh, wait, no. We're not going to let you guys, we're not going to let everybody know when the people need to know what these folks were doing.
Well, for one, we have people in the Patriots that don't kiss ass for anybody, nor the media, as in Bill Belichick. Yeah. He rubs a lot of people the wrong way, and he's a winner. People can't stand winners that don't really care about who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they were waiting to find something to stick it. You know what I mean? With the Pat, especially with the Spygate and all the other stuff they were talking about. Anything that goes on with the Pat, it's a gate.
Yeah,
it's a something
right.
gate. So, but my whole thing is this is a prime example. Don't trust coworkers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys are coworkers. You guys aren't friends. Remind yourselves that you all applied for a job. You all from different areas. Now, if you grew up together, that's different.
Yeah.
But if you didn't grow up together, don't trust your coworkers.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of the Patriots, they put up they had a little offensive explosion. Granted, the opponent was trash, but might as well get those plays that you were going to use later on to get this type of offense going when you play the better teams. But yeah, this game went as about as everyone expected. The Jets aren't really good. Their quarterback got hurt again. They're just the Jets.
Well, for some reason, the overall weekend kind of was like good teams beating bad teams.
Yeah.
A couple bad teams beat some good teams, but for the most part, it went according to plan. The Pats their offense was very efficient, very consistent. Jones only throwing 36 times, and them only running 32 times. Them getting 12 first downs by the run, 17 by the pass. If you can continue with that type of formula, you're gonna win some games. I don't know about making the playoffs this year, but you're gonna be a productive team in the future.
Yeah, you want to be excited whenever the team you root for wins, but when they're playing such a terrible team like the Jets, you're just like, good job on being a bad team, but kind of can't get excited for it because it's like, yeah, we kind of saw this coming. But they did have some good moments with their offense. They opened up the playbook a little more, which is what folks have been asking for.
Well, that's the exciting part about it. We're talking about how Jones should have thrown the ball 30 times, which is a little bit much for a rookie. But for him going 24 for 36, 307 yards, and and 2 touchdowns and no interceptions, that's something to get excited about. You know? Definitely, and the red zone thing.
Yeah.
Them going 100% from the red zone, 6 for 6.
Finally.
Once you feel what it's like to get in there, you enjoy it. It's a fun time. You want to get there more often. So hopefully next weekend, can make it a habit. The convincing worked.
On that note, I'm just going to go on to the next one because I can't add nothing to that. The Cincinnati Bengals have been the surprise team so far, and it's been on the backs of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, who a lot of folks did not think the Bengals should have drafted Jamar Chase. They thought they should get an offensive lineman because their quarterback is coming back from an ACL injury. But I was like, that is not a bad pick because when they were at LSU, Jamar Chase was the best out of all those dynamic receivers that they had. He was the best one out of all of them, and I was like, yeah, that was a good pick. And through his first 7 games, he has more receiving yards ever. He beat out Moss, I believe.
For one, people got to see things sometimes in sports. Football, your last name is Chase. That's what they're gonna be doing with you your whole career. Man, this man is a beast.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand why they would even second guess him when he's been proven on the highest level possible in college football.
Yeah.
He's an SEC guy. Like, come on, you serious?
Yeah, sometimes it would make sense to pick an offensive lineman, but when you have someone that's dynamic as that, you're just kind of like, we could find another offensive lineman later on. We got to get this guy because guys like this don't come around too often, and when you have the chance to get them, you can. I mean, how long did it take the Dallas Cowboys regret not drafting Moss?
Long time. Pretty long time. Yeah. And what's good about Chase, too, is that the yards after catch. Because Burrow averaged 10.9 yards a pass. That's a first down every time you're letting it fly. So it's hard to compete with that. Granted, the Ravens have been battle tested all season. In some games they won. We thought they might have lost in the past. But this game, they won. They didn't play well at all. But the Bengals just played great. C.J. Usama had 3 receptions, 91 yards, 2 TDs. Shout out to him. He was balling a little bit.
He was on my fantasy bench.
Oh, right.
He was on my bench, though.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, he's on your team. You got a chance to put him in there in a couple weeks. So
the thing about this game, it was actually close for a little bit, and then they just I don't even know what happened. The Bengals just went on just a crazy run.
They went on a run, and the Ravens didn't help themselves by resorting back to bad habits. Jackson is your leading rusher with 12 carries. That's a problem. He can't be your leading rusher. He's doing way too much. You need them other guys that you signed, that you're paying to be football players, to go out there and produce. You have those running backs that have to do something. I get it. It might have been tough with the running game, but you still have to try to chip away.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this time of possession. It was close. Yeah, everything was pretty close. It's just the Bengals outgained them and everything, and they just had more big plays than pretty much they had more big plays than the Ravens. Pretty much, I think they had 3 big plays in the passing game that kind of put this one away. But yeah, the Bengals, nobody saw this coming. Nobody saw them being 5-2. Nobody saw them being on top of the AFC in general right now. So, hey man, for all those years of being bad, it looks like they kind of figured it out and know what they're doing.
I mean, we were big on Burrow though. We were big on Burrow, so I'm glad that he's healthy and he's playing well. Yeah. He's getting back to regular form.
Hey, you know who's not playing well? The Chiefs. I ain't picking them no more after this. And I'm wait a while before I pick them. But this was just all bad. Everything that could go wrong in this game went wrong. Quarterback got concussed. They pretty much sat him out the rest of the game. Defense is still suspect as it has been all year, and the Titans were doing whatever they wanted to them, and it was just an all-out terrible look for the Chiefs.
Yeah, just overall bad game.
Yeah.
The Chiefs just fell apart, completely, play calls, everything. It just didn't make sense. Them going 0 for 3 in the red zone, 3 turnovers, They rushed the ball only 13 times. Like, it was just a bad. I don't know what they thought the Titans were. You know, the Titans are a solid team. Weren't they a game from the Super Bowl a couple years ago? So and they're not bums. Like, I just don't understand what the Chiefs were doing.
This was one of those games you just said, this is one of those games the coaches say, we're just gonna bury this tape and not watch it again because we just on every level we didn't play well at all.
And the worst part about it is though, Tennessee only averaged 2.9 yards a rush and Kansas City averaged 5.9. But you only rushed 13 times. Why don't you double that? Good. Oh. You know what I'm saying? Or you try to rush 30, you're going to have at least 150, 200 yards. And then that relieves pressure off Mahomes. He might not have got concussed. Yeah. Like, 'cause I seen that hit when he got up. Oh, man.
Yeah, it was bad. But, you fall behind 27-0 in the first half. The positive that they could get out of this is they shut him out in the second half. I mean, that could be a positive that they get out of it. But
well, that's my whole point though. It's like when you were like, granted, they're a pass heavy team, but your rushing game was getting going, and you just kind of just abandoned it.
I don't know. Well, Tennessee is also a weird team because they have Tennessee. You look at them, they have these good regular season, but then you're just like, you don't know if they're a Super Bowl team. You just like. There's something about them that you're like, they're good enough to make the playoffs, but you don't know if they're good enough to make it to the Super Bowl. That's the thing. Every time I watch Tennessee, like, they're good, but I don't know if they can make it to the Super Bowl. And I have no idea what it is, but there's just something about this team that makes me like, I don't know. There's like something missing. Like some little thing
There's always been something missing with the Tennessee Titans, even back when they got dropped at the goal line against the Rams or something in the playoffs. Like, bro, it's always been missing something. Like, we just don't know what it is. So hopefully they can get over the hump. But they've always been missing something. Just that one piece.
It might be they just might have to just give Derrick Henry the ball 40 times once the postseason comes or something.
That might be that works.
Yeah, that might be the route they have to take because I don't know, but good win on them. I think that's their 4th straight victory, I believe. But kudos to them. It might be their quarterback too. Cause I don't. Ryan Tannehill, I just feel like he's all right, but
I mean, they could use a quarterback with more firepower, but he's consistent.
Or maybe he could just try to get Julio Jones the ball more. That's the difference. That's the big difference maker right there. If they can figure that out, then maybe I'll change my mind. But until now, right now the team that got my eyes open is the Cardinals because they just beating the brakes off everybody. And Kyler Murray, he's making a strong case for MVP this season because man, he could stay in the pocket, and then when he gets out the pocket, it's like you're just trying to catch a little kid. He's just like,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't blame homeboy from running through that man's soul though. If I'm a defensive guy and I see Murray, you're gonna take one of those at least once a game.
You gotta make him reconsider.
You're gonna be embarrassed with us like this. You're gonna feel one of those. But that he's amazing.
Yeah.
For his size, and they talk about like how like guys that are 6'1", 6'2" can barely see over the line, and he's like 5'8", 5'9". Granted, he does stop, shotgun a lot. Yeah. But whatever.
And that's also that baseball in him too.
Yeah, too. So it's just like he understands the game. He can probably see through. He probably understood how to play being short and seeing through certain cracks that most people don't look. But certain angles and things like that. So I can't really explain this. I never played quarterback for the most part. So I just think he's doing an amazing job at the gifts he's been given.
Yeah, and he's staying healthy too, because I think at this point last year he was hurt. He got hurt this point last year and everything went down. But they're doing a good job of keeping him upright, not having him get sacked a whole bunch. I mean, he got sacked 4 times, but during the season he hasn't been sacked that many times because he could get out of it. And what I like most about this team, the balance. The balance. Now they're using their running backs a little more with James Conner and Chase Edmonds. They're getting those guys involved more. The receivers, he's getting everybody's happy. I mean, they added Zach Ertz. He could run block, and he made a big play out there on Sunday. So this team, if you look at it like talent-wise, and you're like, we could see if they end up going to the Super Bowl. You're like, okay, I can see why they did that. I can see how they got there.
I mean, it's what we talked about for months, actually a couple of years, for years now. I was talking about balance. Like when your quarterback throws less passes than your running back is rushing, and you guys are winning big, that's a formula formulation. That's a formula for success. But they're supposed to beat the brakes off the Texans.
Oh yeah.
Texans are sorry.
Yeah, they are. What I like about this with their receiving core, not corpse. My bad.
Halloween talk.
Right. Zach Ertz, AJ Green, DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, all those guys are capable of making big plays. And then you add in Rondale Moore too. Like they have a good, solid group of guys that can go out there. You could throw it deep out to them. They could go up and get it. I mean, and big games and crucial games during crunch time, you're gonna need those guys to do that. And they have this. And Kyler Murray has proven he can make every type of throw. Every type of throw on the run, across his body, all that. So these guys, man, they're tough.
Yeah, they are.
They're tough. And sometimes with some teams that are doing well, it's like, okay, it's kind of good. It's kind of good to see teams that don't normally do well in the season.
Yeah.
Who stays doing well? He might end up being an MVP this season is Brady. Leads the league in passing yards, completions, and touchdowns. And we'll get to the Bucs in a second, but the Chicago Bears are setting their quarterback up for like failure and losing confidence because, man, they couldn't block to save this dude's life. Come on now, Chicago Bears. Like, help your young quarterback out. Block somebody. He was taking some hits. It looked like the Super Bowl all over again when they was just hitting Mahomes left and right. That's what it looked like with this guy because they was, man.
I told you this was going to happen. He don't really stand a chance this season, man.
No.
With that line, I told you, man. Like, as much as everybody wanted Fields to be thrown in there, I was hoping they left that man on the bench so he could preserve his body and just let Dalton? Let the Red Rocket get demolished just because this man doesn't deserve this. Like, you aren't even trying to help him. Like,
right? The coaching staff is definitely not trying to help them at all. I mean, maybe it might work this weekend because the coach got COVID and he might not be on the sidelines, so somebody else might play, but yeah, their whole game plan for him, it's just not the way that you bring in a young quarterback to the league.
The boy gets sacked like 4 times a game.
And he's running for his life the majority of the rest of the time when he's not getting sacked.
Like, he's not even allowed to get comfortable in the pocket. He's not even allowed to just get comfortable in general being a professional quarterback. He's definitely running for his life like he's running back.
Yeah.
But shout out to Mike Evans, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, Mike Evans did have that blood giving that ball away. I mean, that fan, man, I would not get that. Man, once I get that ball.
I'm not gonna lie, I seen everything they was giving the fan.
Yeah, nah.
I didn't see anything that piqued my interest
At all.
All that nonsense. Where was the dollar signs? I don't care about no $1,000 credit for the team store. Maybe I don't want to wear team gear. Maybe I want to go to Louis. I need some bread, like.
Right? I would have been like, I need $500,000.
Yeah,
I need at least season tickets for the next couple years. Give me a suite or something.
That's it. That's too much.
Give me.
Yeah.
I mean, $500,000 season tickets.
500 to a mil. 500 to a mil. Because that's Brady's 600 touchdowns. Somebody, first of all, we're from the state where like we have known fanatics. Like this probably fanatics in like here in New York, Chicago, LA, but we got some fanatics for Brady. We got some.
Oh yeah. Somebody would definitely would pay a couple mil for that.
There are some Brady fanboys in this state, so that are like just Patriots fanatics, let alone Brady fanatics. People give Almond a leg for a Brady 600
I would have been like, I would have wrote a blank. I would have given him a paper. That's how much I want. If y'all want this ball back, if not, it's going on StockX and somebody gonna pay for it.
Yeah, because once you give the ball back,
you lose all leverage.
You have no leverage. You have nothing. So now you just gotta take. Oh yeah, cool. Thanks. Oh thanks. Nah, I'm holding this ball. Nah, I'll see you guys.
Yeah, my man missed the opportunity to cash in because he could have cashed in and be straight, like, cause. Ooh, man. Last in the NFL cycle, the Raiders. This team could have fallen apart after everything that's happened with them, and it's like, okay, they came together. They've been playing well. On the night, won back-to-back games. Derek Carr, you could put him in an MVP conversation. They are playing really, really well.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Coaching matters in the pros, but it don't really matter. A couple guys might have been a little, distraught that Gruden got fired, or stepped down, like Kyle. But I don't think anybody really cared. It didn't really affect their pockets for the most part.
Well, yeah, that too. They still got to go out there and
Yeah, you know
do
what
a
I
job.
mean? They still gonna make money. They still gonna show why they're getting paid. So like, I'm sure like the camaraderie got tighter because of the lack of the leadership in the locker room, if you want to call it that. But the guy that replaced Gruden, I heard he's the favorite. He's like the favorite coach out of everyone.
No, he's that assistant coach that everybody goes to.
Yeah. So I guess he was the right man to put in line because they haven't missed a beat.
Yeah, they really haven't. I mean, you got to give Derek Carr a whole lot of credit because when stuff like this happens, so much goes on the quarterback's shoulders to just keep everything afloat. And he's actually been doing a really good job being the Raiders quarterback his entire time with the Raiders. He just doesn't get the recognition he deserves.
Yeah, he's very professional.
Yeah,
very. Even his press conference, you know what I mean, was saying like people make mistakes, still gonna love him. You know what I mean? Because that's what you do. You don't turn your back on people, even though they do some effed up things. But we all got relative to do effed up stuff with people that we love that does messed up stuff. You still gotta love them because love is the best. Love is the best forgiveness.
Yeah, and they still have jobs to do too, so they can't sit around there and dwell on it or mope around about it. They still got to go out there and perform. I mean, they're in a good spot right now at 5-2. They got their running game going with both the running backs, Drake and Josh Jacobs. Who I think Josh Jacobs is working his way back from injury. So
okay, well Drake's a good replacement.
Yeah, but I think we'll see more of Jacobs as the season goes on, as we get closer to like November and December. So.
But the good thing about them playing this week and playing last weekend was they playing the Eagles, so they're gonna have some turmoil going on in the locker room. At least they played a bad team to get right.
Yeah, well, the get right game, but man, the Eagles. Ooh.
And Hurts, I don't know if they're trying to set him up for failure, but come on, man, he shouldn't be a leading rusher. That's crazy.
I said this about Hurts. I'm like, I don't think he's that guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that guy. But granted, the situation is not helping him. But yeah,
I got 32 rushes. He runs 13 times. Like, come on, people.
The Eagles are just not. Yeah. There's a lot to say about the Eagles. I mean, Jalen Hurts, he does have some flaws and stuff, but I think what's happening with the Eagles right now, it's setting him up for not. Yeah, so if he leaves or gets traded, it'd be like, all right, what's next?
And he didn't throw any intos.
Yeah.
So, like.
Well, the best thing he could do is be professional and, just be a good guy because nobody says anything bad about him. So if it don't work out with the Eagles, I'm sure somebody else will give him an opportunity just by him being a professional, because these dudes, I don't know what they do. They might be trying to sabotage him. We talk about the Bears trying to sabotage their quarterback. They might be trying to sabotage the field. Hurts. All right, we're going to go to the No Huddle. Craig got some thoughts on the Bengals and the Cardinals. And then we're going to come back. We got Major League Baseball World Series and we got NBA happening. Yeah, there was a lot of people getting dunked on the other night.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, posters for everyone. So No Huddle, then we're going to come back.
What up, everybody, and welcome to No Huddle here on After the Whistle. Once again, it's your boy Craig here to give you my football update of the week. So let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals right now. 5-2, playing incredible football. Just put a beat down on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, and an incredible showing. You got Joe Mixon. One of my favorite running backs. He had a rough start to getting into the NFL, made some mistakes and paid for them slightly, dropped down in the draft, however. And now you have the addition of Jamar Chase, who in my opinion, over the next 2 to 3 years, is going to be the leading receiver in the NFL. This kid is incredible. He's got hands for days. He's got speed. He has great route running and amazing separation. And he's just big-bodied. I mean, what more can you ask of a number one wide receiver? T. Higgins, their draft pick from last year, playing good ball. And they have Tyler Boyd. Probably one of the best, if not the best, receiving combo in the NFL. Some might argue to say the best offense in the NFL. It's just the total package. Watching them play football, and Joe Burrow has got to win Comeback Player of the Year. It's going to be between him and Dak Prescott, but man, Joe Burrow is looking amazing. Threw for something like 4 touchdowns and over 300 yards. The kid is incredible. Jamar Chase breaking records that were only held by Randy Moss. It's just the team all around is incredible. Which also leads me to the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray making all the improvements he needs to make to be one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, making really good decisions with the ball, airing it out, running really good. They have an awesome offense. Obviously, the best hands in the business with DeAndre Hopkins, the veteran talent of A.J. Green. Christian Kirk has emerged as an excellent number 2 receiver. They got the 1-2 punch in the run game with James Conner and Gus Edwards. And 7-0. What can you say about that? They haven't played. They've had some lesser teams, but they're not playing bums. They've beat some really good teams this year. 7-0 is a huge feat in itself, and to be the only undefeated team in the NFL says a lot. And I say that to say this is my early outlandish crazy prediction is that we could be looking at the Super Bowl contenders this year. Cincinnati's defense is underrated. They're excellent against the run. They rebuilt their offensive line, and their offensive line is protecting Burrows really well. They have a strong receiving core, and they have an excellent run game. On the other side, you have Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. Super underrated defense. Chandler Jones, one of the best edge rushers in the game. J.J. Watt, one of the best tackles to ever play. They have every position that you could ask for. They're playing excellent football. And Kyler Murray is, at the top of his game. And I think these two teams are not being talked about as much to be going into the Super Bowl. And I think they have a great chance of making it. They have some big competition in front of them. Arizona Cardinals have to go through Tampa Bay. And the Cincinnati Bengals, they've already gone through Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, which is a team they're probably going to have to face at some point in time in the playoffs. Kansas City is no longer an issue. So you got the Buffalo Bills. That's a tough game. Buffalo Bills probably have top 5 defense in the NFL, but it's a tough matchup, and I think it's going to come down to Buffalo and Cincinnati and Arizona and either the Cowboys or the Bucks. So we'll see what happens. That's all I have for you this week, and I'll see you next week. Back to After the Whistle. Have a good night.
All right, and we are back. Okay, Celtics started off this season. They're 2-2 right now. They played some crazy games already. They played two overtime games already, which was wild. I mean, they lost their home opener because they just played a double overtime game. What do you expect? What do you expect? But the game against the Hornets, man, that was some exciting basketball right there.
One thing I have to say, stop honoring Paul Pierce, man.
Oh, yeah. Every time they lose.
It's not even every time they honor Paul Pierce, we lose. We get smiggity, bro. We get smacked by like 20, 30 points. Like, it hurts him. You know what I mean? You see his face, like, just stop doing it. All right, but as you were saying.
Had him come out, had him fly out. And
like, doing all that. I mean, 2 times in a row. I just had to get that off my chest, man, because I was hurt. I was feeling Paul for that.
I hear that. They better not do that on the KG retirement, because KG might come on the court and fight folks.
I hope he do.
During his jersey retirement. I tried to get tickets to that, too. I was like,
I didn't even know what was happening.
It's in March, though.
Okay.
Man, it was like $500 starting off. I was like, all the way at the top, too. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like,
we got a lot of old people with some old money that live in this area.
but
So we got to get there one day.
So I actually enjoy watching this team. I didn't know what to make of these guys. I don't know. I didn't know what to expect, but I enjoy watching these guys. I like this core. This core group, these core guys that they have, and it seems like the guys that I've been saying that need to step up are actually doing it. Robert Williams, he's actually, he's out there just doing what he does, playing defense and catching lobs. And then Romeo, he looked like the guy that they wanted him to be that first game because he was knocking down shots, playing defense. So I need to, I'm holding my breath, but I hope he gets it together, so because they have a lot of talent.
Langford's one of them players. He's growing up still.
Yeah.
Granted, they have 8 guys that are averaging 8 points or more.
Yeah.
They got 6 that are averaging double figures.
This might be their deepest team.
Yeah, so I like what they're doing. Only thing I want, I just want Brown to be a little more aggressive, because we all know Tatum's going to end up being the guy on the team, but I still want Brown to continue to be aggressive, because I like how he started off the first game of the season. But one thing with Brown is he'll have a great game, then he'll have a couple okay games, and the good game, and then the great game. Have some great good games, and that's it.
Thing they're saying about the Celtics is they don't, because last year when their top heavy scoring came from Brown and Tatum, and when those guys were having big games at the same time, it was just where's everyone else? And nobody else was scoring, but they combined for 71. But as you can see, Schroeder 23, Robert Williams 12. Jabari Parker 13, Grant Williams. Now Grant Williams is hitting open threes.
Yeah, a lot of corner threes like PJ Tucker too. I be seeing him, but honestly, he was never a bad shooter. His position makes it seem like he shouldn't be making them shots, but in college he could shoot, and even when he first came to the league, he was making big shots, randomly making big shots when he got his opportunity. But what I was gonna say is, Brown and Tatum just remind me of a more athletic Antoine Walker and Paul Pierce. I like that combination kind of. You know what I mean? Granted, and Walker's 6'9", Paul Pierce 6'8", but Tatum be dunking all over people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Tatum, sidestep 3, dunking on people, just a lot of length.
I think one of his goals, one of the things they said about Tatum this year is they want him to get to the line at least 8 or 10 times a game. He got to the line 7 times the last game. So I think, because the first game was one to forget for him, but he's definitely making an effort to get to that basket a lot more. So, and I just like that you got guys that that aren't scared to not pass the ball. I mean, Schroeder will look you off and he'll go get a bucket. He'll get a bucket. He's not gonna look you off and take a bad shot. He'll look you off and he'll get a bucket. Sometimes you need guys like that. So, and Josh Richardson too, when he gets fully in tune with these guys, these guys they should be good. They should be decent. Not decent, but they should be all. I think they all can play together. So it's just how everything unfolds. But one thing, at least they've been giving us some exciting games.
Hey, that's better than what some of the other states can produce.
Shoot. Yeah, they got the Wizards tonight, and then I believe they got the Bulls on Monday. I'm going to be at that game with the Bulls on Monday. The Bulls, they're an exciting team of the league right now.
Yeah.
Quickly, you see that NBA 75 list?
Yeah.
I hate lists. I hate them.
I mean, I wasn't mad at it.
I just don't like people that are on that list that couldn't dribble with their left hand. That's my only issue. My only beef with that is how, people's personal opinions made them not put Dwight Howard on that list.
Well, I felt a couple guys are premature on that list.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Some guys that are still playing that haven't really won anything.
Yeah.
They're great players in the league now, but they're not even legendary in the classes that they're playing against.
Yeah.
So, to each his own, though, I'm not going to sit here and nitpick and think who I should, but T-Mac should have been on that list. Dwight Howard definitely should have been on that list just because of how many defensive players he is. He
consecutively, too.
Yeah, so, just certain people should have been who. Yeah, I forgot who else didn't make it, but T-Mac wasn't.
Vince didn't make it.
I mean, I'm not surprised that Vince, that's not, Vince was great, but he wasn't. If he gets to the Hall of Fame, I'm not gonna be mad at it. He played 20-something years. He was great. He was insanity, but he's just not one of the top 75 players to ever play this. It's like 600, 500 plays every year. Like, do they even do the math? Do they ever do the math?
I don't know, but
that?
remember, I just can't wait till they get to the 100th anniversary and they make a list of 100. Ooh.
But one thing I didn't like, though, they were saying, like, oh, so-and-so gives so-and-so buckets. That has nothing to do about the scoring ability of so-and-so. It's about what their production and how they affected the game and what they achieved in their career.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to. It's not just straight skill set.
Yeah. I don't think I saw Dirk's name on that list.
I'm sure he was there.
I hope. I got to look at it again. But
he was there.
Yeah, you had better be there.
I didn't even look for Dirk's name.
I just saw, when I looked, I just saw too many people like that played before like color was involved. But I mean, color as in TV.
I mean, you can't take away what they did.
I can't, but it's just like sometimes we gotta have like a certain list. Like for the guys in the past, we gotta put them in their own categories and stuff like that. Because I mean, like there's certain guys I like, man. Nah,
bro, they was the ones that they were the ones that were crawling for basketball. Then you had the ones that learn how to walk, the ones that learn how to run, the ones that learn how to run and jump. You know what I mean? It's just how it goes, bro. The game wasn't where it was today, but you still gotta respect the guys that still paved the way. It improves every 20 years.
Yeah, but they still couldn't jump with their left hand. That's my issue.
That's how it improves.
World Series. We got the Braves and we got the Astros. The best tweet I saw, someone said they should play International Players Anthem every time before this game started. I was like, that's a pretty smart tweet. But the Braves took game one. Their pitcher fractured his fibula. I think it was like the second. It was like in the first inning or something like that. On the second pitch, like the ball hit him in his fibula. Ended up playing with a broken fibula for like 2 more innings. Struck out a couple guys before it gave out, and he just had to.
Man, that's unfortunate. I'll be honest, man. Since the Red Sox out the playoff, I don't even blink at baseball.
Those guys, man.
So I don't even know what's going on now.
Oh yeah, it was all Braves. It was pretty much all Braves. The Braves started off how they started off the last series against the Dodgers, getting up early on them, got up on them 5-0, and it was just straight defense the whole time. So. The best part about baseball is their series, they don't be having days off. Like it's the next day. Game 1 today, game 2. I mean, game 1 yesterday, game 2 today. Maybe they'll have a day off tomorrow. Then game 4. It's like
man. I need Houston to win this though, because we can't be losing to the runner-ups, man. If you gotta lose to the champs.
I think a lot of people want Atlanta to win because of Houston and all that nonsense they did. But if Houston did win, if I was a member of the Astros, I'd be so petty. If we won the World Series, man, the petty level would increase so much off of that, and I'd just be, oh man, they'd probably ban me from the league.
Understandable.
Yeah, but the Braves are up 1-0 in this series, and game 2 is tonight. All right, let's go to Athletes Corner, and this one. We got Aiven Cabral, pitcher from St. Mary's. We talked to him about his commitment to Northeastern and being a 2-time state champion. So check that out, and then we're going to come back and do some highlights and post-game interviews. Hello and welcome to another edition of Athletes Corner. And today we got a special guest. Aiven is here with us, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Glad you got the time to come here and chop it up with us. You know, a lot has happened for you the past three years, your time at St. Mary's. But first, if you guys don't know already, he's a 2-time state champion. They just recently won the state championship in the shortened season this year. I mean, just talk to me about going back-to-back in the state championship for baseball.
I mean, it's a good feeling. Like, my sophomore year, we probably could have won it again. Mm-hmm. On paper, we had a pretty good team. But even missing the year, it was still pretty nice winning it back-to-back.
Yeah, talk about going out there your freshman year, getting that varsity experience that freshman year, going on that run. Just talk to me about that run you guys had your freshman year.
I mean, my coach had confidence in me and the rest of the team, so we just felt like he had our back, so we had to have his. So we just went out there and played our hardest.
Yeah. Did you feel? Were you nervous at all? Because sometimes when you're a freshman, you kind of just the whole moment and stuff. You get a little nervous, but once you start to play, it goes away. Did that sort of thing happen with you?
I mean, that was more towards the end of the season and playoffs when the games started getting bigger. But I feel like during the season, I just played my game and let everything out on the field.
Yeah, and what was your most memorable moment from that world state title game?
The end,
Yeah.
the dog pile.
Yeah.
Everybody jumping on each other. I remember I was getting like 6 kids on top of me jumping on me.
And you talk about the sophomore year too, because that kind of ruined the chance for you guys to three-peat.
Yeah.
Talk about the shortened season. COVID. There was a lot of stuff happening with the COVID and the pandemic. The games being canceled and certain games weren't being played. Just talk about how you guys were all able to overcome that and be able to accomplish what you guys accomplished.
Well, the season being canceled kind of motivated us more for the next season, whoever was coming back. So it made it more of a special season, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Did it kind of hurt that some of those other guys, those seniors that year, weren't able to get that one last run?
Yeah, I feel bad for the seniors because I can see that they wanted another one too.
Yeah. Did you guys get a sense of Did you guys get a sense that you did this for them this year, this past season, and winning it for them not being able to do that? Were you guys like, this is kind of for them because they weren't able to get that season for them, so they could see us flourish?
Yeah, I feel like in a way it was for them, but also for the coach because the coach he was pretty bummed out about the season being canceled as well. So,
Well, for the rest of you guys, what was your feelings towards that whole time period when not having a season your sophomore year?
it was like, well, what do we do now? It was kind of for those who didn't play other sports, it was just a dead period, and then some had shortened seasons, so it was kind of hard.
Yeah. Did it give you more chance to just work on your game a little bit more?
Yeah, it just gave me more time to perfect everything and get ready for the coming season.
What were some of the things that you worked on during that time?
I just worked on getting better at my pitching, my hitting, and every aspect of the game.
Yeah,
And the mental aspect too.
Definitely. You made a big decision. You got that out the way early.
Yeah.
Already made your commitment to play at Northeastern. A couple things. Talk to me why you wanted to make that decision quickly and before the season started, and talk to me about the reason for Northeastern.
Well, I actually took my time because there was a lot of schools that were contacting me, trying to get me to come down and visit. But I wanted to take my time with everything. And then at the end, it just came down to Northeastern. I felt like they wanted me the most, and I felt like that was my best option. It's close to home, great school, and yeah.
Yeah, was that something, you just talked about, what were some of the other schools that were interested in you?
Some schools in Florida, like Rollins College. I visited Florida Southern, and then I visited Rhode Island, and I visited North Carolina State.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you get a lot of big programs.
Yeah.
Do you feel a sense of relief now? Because sometimes during the recruitment process, especially for seniors who have yet to make a commitment yet, it's kind of a little stressful for them because you got the season coming up and then so much happening during the season, and then you still have to make that decision. Was this kind of a relief that you made the decision? Now you could just focus on the upcoming season?
Yeah, it was definitely a relief. I feel like I can relax now. It was because everybody, when you're not committed by your senior year, it's like you're late in the process. So I feel like if I made the decision at the right time, and I also made the best one for me.
Yeah, definitely. Well, what was your parents' thoughts on your decision? What was their reaction when you made that decision?
They were supportive. My mom was especially happy because she wanted me to stay closer to home. But
Yeah.
My dad was happy too. He wanted me to go away, but he was still happy with the decision.
Yeah, definitely. And you guys, talk to me about the upcoming spring season. Talk to me about the team. Do you guys have a good amount of guys coming back to try and make another run at it?
Yeah, we have pretty much everyone except for 3 seniors coming back, 3 or 4 seniors. So I think we should be pretty good. So we keep working hard. I think we could have a chance at winning another one.
And I'm sure I'm sure a lot of teams are going to be gunning for you guys, knowing the success that the team has had the past couple of years. You feel like you've had all this time to work and get ready for the challenges, because being champions means everyone's going to give you their best shot. Yeah. Even if it's teams that may not be that good, they're still giving their best shot at you guys.
Yeah, there's definitely teams that are out there that are trying to take the championship from us, but we feel like we got the chip on our shoulder. We keep pushing and try to win another one.
Yeah, well, what are some things that that you guys as a collective group are doing during the off season to get ready for all that?
Well, we have right now we have fall ball games, but when those end, we have team practices, and then we have workouts, and then those lead up to the season pretty much.
Yeah. Do you feel the fall ball has helped you?
I mean, I feel like it helps with not really losing it, because I feel like that break in between, and when starting up again, I feel like there's a period where you have to kind of knock the dust off, the rust off. And
the thing with spring sports in general is, I think you all have the longest time off. I think personally, from the last game until the season starts again, and then there's that in between phase. I know some players do stuff in the summer as far as travel teams and stuff like that. Just talk about that long period off from just high school competitive sports. Talk to me about that aspect.
Well, personally, I play summer ball, so I'm not really done until August, September, around there. But other kids, some don't play summer ball, so they just have the summer off, and then when the school year starts, they'll play fall sports or winter sports. So, I mean, I can't really relate to that, because I don't play sports, winter or fall sports anymore. But I feel like once the season ends and at the end of the summer, I feel like it's just back to working.
Back to work, Pretty much no days off, no days off of that. But hey, man, you're doing great. You made that commitment. That's a great thing, just to get that college experience as well too. Because a lot of kids don't make the decision to go into the workforce or do something else after high school. But that's great for you that you could be able to continue your baseball career in college, because not many people get to play baseball, get to play sports at a college level in general. Especially at a major program like Northeastern, because they have put some guys in the pros the past couple of years too. So maybe you'll be next.
I hope so.
Hey man. Lastly, before we get out of here, if they want to follow you or anything, please plug in your social media pages.
Aiven_Cabral on Instagram.
And there you have it. Aiven Cabral, 2-time state champions, St. Mary's High. Make sure you go support them when the baseball season comes. And just like that, we are out of here. You guys been watching Athletes Corner. Have a good one.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. And we are back. Thank you, Abon, for that. Now, they could have went 3 in a row, but COVID happened.
Oh.
Yeah, his sophomore year. He said they had pretty much everyone back from the state championship. Right. So
I tell most kids I see that go to St. Mary's, I be seeing them at the Wise, and say, you can win 2. You can't win 3, though. You can't have more
but kudos to him. He's going to Northeastern. He's gonna be playing baseball at Northeastern. He said they have a chance to three-peat, because he said they got a good amount of guys coming back from that championship team.
I hope they do, man. I hope St. Mary's keeps doing it.
I have no clue who was the last three-peat team around here at all.
I might wear my Letterman jacket next week, man. Bring out some St. Mary's gear. No more of that maroon.
Yeah, we got high school football updates. This kid, right? ABL Rivera, check out this post-game interview. I'll talk to you about this game afterwards. Check out this post-game interview with KIPP Academy freshman ABL Rivera. All right, what's going on, man? You guys got the victory. You got some time at quarterback. Just talk to me about, getting in there and getting some play at quarterback.
I was a little nervous at first. But, my teammates, they stepped up with me. They encouraged me to play. And it was just simple as that. The coaches were great. They inspired me a lot, so thanks to them.
How is it, what's your emotions going into this type of game, having the starters get pulled because getting pulled and then you get pulled in there to play some minutes. So what were the emotions like for you?
It was really nervous, you know what I mean? You know, I wouldn't expect to play full 3 quarters like that, but, you know, I did what I did. I made the coaches proud, so.
Yeah, talk about that unit that was out there for you guys in that second half. I mean, just talk about, you guys did some things well. Just talk about how you guys were able to just, you know, be able to move the ball so well in that second half.
It's all about teamwork, you know? When you have great teammates, it's all about that. So it was great like that,
All right, and for you, what are you going to take from this game that'll help you, as you continue to grow as a football player?
Work on my plays mentally, listen to the coaches better, and I have to just work on my stamina and everything, and I'll be all set for the season.
All right, man. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
All right, and we are back. So the funny thing about that game at Kip, they had sat a bunch of their guys down after they got up big, so they put in some guys that don't normally get time. One kid, he got in the end zone. And all you heard from the sideline was like, no, don't do it. And he went and spun the ball. And the ref was right there too, and all you saw was just a flag come in. And I just saw the coach was losing his mind. I was sitting there like, this boy, because I was legit right there when it was happening. I'm like, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. And he's like, he looked too. He's like, and I was like, man.
Honestly, like, you should only get a flag for excessive celebration, spinning the ball or spiking the ball. Man, that's just, like, all the result of your hard work, man. You had to spin that thing and spike it one time. Like, it ain't that serious.
It was the funniest thing in the world, because all you heard was no. It happened. But some other high school sports news, St. Mary's dropped their first game against Cardinal Spellman this past Friday. So interesting enough, this weekend, this Friday's game against Archbishop Williams is a big one, because apparently my cousin, they coach football in Abington. They were telling me if St. Mary's loses and they win, they probably have an early playoff matchup against those two teams. And Abington won it 2 years ago. Yeah, the last time they had a full season, Abington won it.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, that is very interesting. So, and St. Mary's had some guys injured, so maybe they'll get those guys back. English won their second in a row, 32-0 over Malden. I think Wesley had like $180 and 2 or 3 touchdowns. Classical lost to Milton. That was a good look. And then Tech got cheated.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they got cheated. So they were up and they caused a fumble, recovered the fumble, were running with the fumble, and then a ref comes in and said the guy was down. And the video shows that the dude was nowhere near them down. The ball was already out, and yeah, that pretty much cost Tech the game. And I was like, yeah, this is what happens when you're from Lynn and all these other folks don't like people from Lynn. Like, these are surrounding cities. So, yeah, it was a tough break for them. But check out these high school football highlights, and we're going to come back with top plays and all that. And we are back. All right, we got some top 10. We actually got 2 top 10s for y'all. First, we're going to do an NBA top 10 from the first week of NBA action, followed by NFL top 10. So first up, NBA top 10, and then NFL top 10. All right, NFL top 10, and then we got a game picks to wrap this thing up. So check it out. We are back. All right, time for our week number 8 game picks. Before that, week 7, Todd went 10-3, and I went 8-5, and I also lost my fantasy football game because Geno Smith want to hold on to the football.
Bro, I went 10-3, and I still ain't do a slip.
This dude here, man.
Nah, but them spreads was crazy. They was too tight. I was acting like I knew what I was doing.
Oh, guys. All right, week number 8. Thursday night football, Packers at Cardinals. Packers won't have Devontae Adams for this one.
Oh, I'm taking Cardinals this go around.
I'm going to take the Cardinals until somebody beats them. At Falcons.
Panthers.
I'm going to go with the Falcons because the Panthers have looked trash. Dolphins, Bills.
Bills.
I will go with the Bills as well. 49ers and Bears.
49ers.
I will go with the Bears. Both teams don't look good. Steelers, Browns.
Browns.
Steelers because for some reason they own the Browns. Eagles, Lions. Ugh.
Eagles.
Go with the Eagles.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Lions because their coach is hilarious.
Bro, they suck, bro.
He said their coach. Let me see if I can find it.
They
Hold on. Let me see if I still have that quote that he said the other day. The dude is hilarious, but I don't. But their coach was talking about when they went to LA, his plug hooked them up with some of that good stuff, and they had them charged up.
Did they win the game?
They almost did, but they lost.
Once again, they still suck.
Titans, Colts.
Titans.
I'll go with the Colts. Bengals, Jets.
Bengals.
Rams, Texans. Rams. Pats, Chargers. This is LA. You know, Pats.
Yeah, I'm like, why you even ask?
The Jaguars, Seahawks. Oh my gosh. This is in Seattle.
I'm gonna go with the Jags, man.
I will go with the Jaguars too because Geno Smith has got on my nerves last game. What he did, he cost me a game in my fantasy league. Washington at Denver.
I'm gonna go Washington, man.
Me too, Washington. Buccaneers, Saints.
Bucks.
Cowboys, Vikings.
Cowboys.
Vikings. And on that note, make sure y'all be safe out there with y'all trick-or-treating and all that good stuff. LynnTV.org, go to the website. Lynn Community Television, Facebook. Mr. Burn23, Instagram. Mukala K, Instagram. Happy birthday to my cousin and my little brother, because you know my dad got all these kids.
Yeah, Rolling Stone.
Right? Yeah, we are out of here. Have a great weekend, everyone. And yeah, we'll catch y'all next week.
Trick or treating. Don't be treating them tricks.